You gotta step up or you're out. You need to know this is your daughter.
You can go back to the farm that you came from.
Oh, my Lord. Wow, I don't think this relationship is going anywhere. Last year, a woman named Sarah came to our show fed up with her boyfriend, Stephen. You see, Stephen had some bizarre, borderline, offensive reasons for denying their daughter, Isabella. Take a look.
I am sick, and I'm so damn tired of Stephen's nonsense. The fact that he says my baby belongs to a black man is ludicrous. Let me tell you the real reason Stephen's denying my daughter. This man has an addiction to video games, and it's warping his mind. I got news for Stephen. He'll have no fury like a pissed-off mama.
Stephen says that little girl was made by an African-American man.
She looks just like him. She's a queen. His family members are telling him that he can't have children.
Right.
Well, I was only sleeping with him.
I can't have children.
So how is that
99.9%. Come on, you want to go?
That child belongs to an African-American man, huh?
I'm whiter than Casper, Maury.
What?
That baby looks biracial.
What's the number one thing in your life?
Video games.
In the case of 4-month-old Isabella, Stephen, you are the father.
I told you!
You take care of that child. Okay, so after that result, they got engaged on the show, and then they went home, and according to Sarah, they engaged in a month-long sexathon. So now, joining us again from Nashua, New Hampshire, is Sarah. Because Sarah says during that literal love fest, she and Stephen conceived their daughter, Harmony. But Stephen is once again accusing Sarah of cheating and has demanded a paternity test. He proposed to you on the show, Sarah. I mean, what happened when you got back home?
So we were totally in love, Maury, and we were perfect. We were glad that the results came out how we wanted them. And then we were having sex everywhere because we were so in love. We were having sex in the kitchen, the bathroom, the dining room, the car. And then I got pregnant, of course, because that's what happens when you have a lot of sex, you know?
Right.
She was having sex with everybody and anybody, Maury.
Yeah, right.
She couldn't keep her legs closed.
Nice to have you with us again, Stephen. You haven't changed, have you? I mean, you were proven wrong the first time, and here you're back ready to get hit again, aren't you?
That's right.
Stephen, what was your reaction to her being pregnant the second time?
I was shocked with the amount of time that she's not around.
Wait a minute. Do you agree you all had a sexathon for about a month?
We slept together on a few occasions. I wouldn't say a sexathon.
Sarah?
We were sleeping together all the time. What are you talking about?
Maybe once or twice a week, but not like she's saying.
No.
But you know, Stephen has a lot of accusations about how you're messing around on him. You know that. Because you take your oldest child up to see his father in Vermont, don't you?
Yeah, my ex lives in Vermont, so I go there a lot. We pass the kid
That's
back
probably
and
the
forth.
for.
No.
What's this syndrome that Stephen suffers from?
He suffers from Peter Pan syndrome. He'd rather sit there and play his video games instead of facing reality, instead of taking care of his children. He's addicted. It's warping his mind. Like, Maury, he's crazy.
He also thinks that you're messing around because you're a Lyft driver, right?
Yeah, he says I'm lifting my ass for my customers. You know what, Maury? The only person I'm lifting my ass for is him.
It's not so far from the truth. I mean, you disappear for hours at a time. I don't hear from you. I don't get a text response back. I don't get a phone call back.
That is not true.
It's no different than just shutting your phone off.
I don't shut my phone off. Never, ever.
You're too busy for everyone and anyone.
Stop disrespecting me, Stephen. You know damn
you disrespect
well that's
yourself
your
every
baby.
time you for every single man on the street.
She proved you wrong the last time, Stephen.
She did, but I'm not so sure about this time.
Sarah, you say little Harmony has one very distinct characteristic that is the same as Stephen. What is that?
It's her feet. They are identical. Just look at her feet. Look at them.
How are you going to compare?
Huge feet.
How are you going to compare a grown man's feet to a child's feet? It's completely different. You're delusional.
What else is exactly alike? Sarah?
The big Dumbo ears. Maybe you think that because he's got those big Dumbo ears, he'd hear me when I was saying that's his baby.
The hair color, the eyes, the cheek, that's your ex to a T. That's your ex to a T.
So you.
Big ears, no way.
We're going through the same thing we went through the last time, and you're saying the same thing about her this time that you said last time, after you were proved wrong the last time you were here. Now, do you treat Isabella any different than you treat the new one, Harmony?
I treat them equally because it's still a child.
He says you don't treat him too well anyway because you're still playing video games all the time.
It's better than dealing with her nonsense.
Is that why you play the video games, to get away from her?
I get more joy from that than I do from her.
But here you go, Stephen. You have 5, I think, what they call telltale reasons, right? That Sarah is a serial cheater. So here are number 1, spending the night with an ex. You really think she spent the night with that guy up there?
Multiple times.
And here's number 2. She doesn't return phone calls.
No, not true.
I won't hear from her for like hours at a time. An unreasonable amount of time, maybe 7, 8 hours at a time.
Number 3.
Constantly on the phone.
The telltale sign that she's cheating is that there's non-communication between the two of you. I believe that because you just said that you'd rather play video games than be around her.
We're constantly in separate rooms. I'm either upstairs or she's downstairs.
Not
I
true.
avoid her like the plague. I can't even look at her
Stop
at
your
this point.
lies.
Do you all have dinner together?
Yes.
For the kids'
every
sake, we
night.
do.
Number 4, she wears more makeup than usual. What do you mean by
Probably
that?
for her ex.
I barely wear makeup. You're lying.
And number 5, she
More
disappears for days at a time.
I do not. Stop your lies.
She'll leave for Vermont, Maury, on a Friday, and I won't see her till a
More
Tuesday.
crap.
Really? Are you gone Friday to Tuesday, Sarah?
No, never.
Or it'll be an excuse, oh, I'm going to see my sisters, or this and that, and then I don't hear from her.
So you really
Well,
you really don't think that you're Harmony's father?
No. I think it's her ex's.
Take your head out of your ass. I'm tired of your crap.
Why don't you learn to keep your legs shut?
Why don't you learn to keep your mouth shut?
Is this the way it is for you every day? Is this the kind of talk that goes
Constantly.
on? Wow.
It's like walking on
All the
eggshells.
time, Maury.
Okay, why don't you both?
You gotta step up or you're out. You need to know this is your daughter.
You can go back to the farm that you came from.
Oh my Lord! Wow, I don't think this relationship is going anywhere. When you all talk to each
Maury,
other
look at
like
what this
that.
man says to me. How is this okay?
Hey, Sarah, I didn't pick him. You did. Okay.
regretting it.
Here we go. In the case of 6-month-old Harmony, Stephen, you are the father.
Told you! I told you! It's your baby! You're a man up now!
You are not the father.